Is it going? Oh, I see the numbers moving. Hey guys, this is Trenchy back again to bring you another video. And this time, I'm semi-doing a request. A request, not a request. 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 But I'm doing kind of a request. Um, my friend Nate was like, hey, could you review the Karate Kid movies? And I probably will get to them eventually. But I got something even better, Nate. I got something that is better, and it's got Martin Cove in it. It's got Kreese is in this movie, kind of, sort of. Um, and that is this is better than the Karate Kid movies. I'm bringing you the fucking it's Karate Christmas Miracle from 2019. Merry Christmas, motherfuckers! This is a Christmas movie you're getting. This is the review I'm coming back on officially, because our review you won't see the later. But this is the review I'm officially coming back on and reviewing movies on. Is fucking a Karate Christmas Miracle. That's the review. That's the review. It's not gonna be like some good movies like A Smile and stuff like that, or stuff I haven't seen yet. It's not gonna be anything like that. It's not gonna be Karate Kid or Lawrence of Arabia or whatever. It's a fucking a Christmas or Karate Christmas Miracle. There's also a sequel or thing that's made by the same guy called A Wrestling Christmas Miracle. If you want me to review that, let me know. I might do that one. Probably not, but I might. But, yeah, so, what this movie is, there's this kid whose dad, the dad went missing in a clown mass shooting at a theater where he was giving a speech about gun control. We'll get into that later. That is a whole other can of worms. Or he was speaking pro-gun or something. I don't know. He was doing something. Or gun control or something, but I'm gonna get into that. That is important. So this kid who knows karate and his dad knew karate, he is training to be a karate master, and he wants to earn his black belt by Christmas and do all these other tasks, because if he thinks he does his 12 days of Christmas task, his dad will be brought back to him by Santa or Magic of Christmas or something, or his dad will just appear. So he's doing these tasks to cope with the loss of his father, the mother who's always been like working really hard and doesn't really connect with her son, that cliche, like she works too much, she connects and she doesn't know how to connect. And it's funny because they also try to make the mother, it's like, you were always handed things as a kid, you work now, but you were always handed things as a kid, and you were grown up rich and privileged while your husband had to scrap for everything he had and had to work hard for everything he had. Plus he knew all these people and made time for all these things, and you didn't know shit about your husband. Your husband was such a great guy and you didn't know shit about him. You didn't know he liked horror movies and did karate and all this other shit. You should have known that. And it's like, so that's part of it. But, yeah, so essentially, the father's missing, and then the kid starts having dreams about the father connected to this movie theater and this mysterious girl called Aurora, and Eric Roberts is there, who I guess was the clown that shot up the theater, and he's got a mustache, and he's like, I'm saying all this cryptic shit. And then Martin Kove is there as well, who's the father of the girl that owns the theater. And whether he's good or bad, I can't tell, but there are reasons for that I found out later. There is reasons for all this. Not good reasons, but there are reasons. So essentially, the mother's trying to figure out what's happening to her son while she's having these visions, and she ends up teaming up with this law professor who used to be a psychic but became a law professor because she wanted to stop seeing dead bodies. So she's becoming a law professor to cope with her psychic powers. Yes, and she, since it's around Christmas time, she teaches law through Christmas metaphors, aka, would Santa get in trouble if they got in a drunken bar fight and some guy tried to smash a beer bottle over Rudolph's head? If Santa broke a chair over their back, would Santa go to prison? Or would Santa be able to be legally charged? Or can Frosty sue the city for salting the ground, even though the ground helps the community, but it hurts Frosty? And she brings up one about the Grinch, and I think she brings up one about somebody else. But, yeah, so she's in this movie. She is the best part of the movie, because the movie is kind of weird. Like, there's memorable dialogue exchanges, and there's memorable shit in the movie, but the movie is kind of all over the place, and not really fun with it. Or as fun as it probably should be. Or as fun as it probably should be with it, but I thought the psychiatrist character, or the psychic, my bad, I'm calling her psychiatrist. She's kind of a psychiatrist in the film as well, in a way, for the mom. I thought she was really good. She's just happy to be there. It feels like that actress just happy to be there. Apparently she was in the Blob remake. That lady, but she's just, she's just having fun, playing her character kind of kooky. And it's like watching. It's like gives you an aunt vibe, like a kooky aunt that's an alcoholic vibe. Like, that's the vibe I get from this character and from this performance. It's very, for me, it was very enjoyable. Besides the thing, they tried to give this character some depth and some, like, interesting storyline stuff, but when she tries to get emotional and serious, 99% of the time in the movie, it doesn't work. Like the dead body speech, when she's trying to give the dead body speech, that speech is so fucking ridiculous. The dialogue is so dumb. It's not like overly memorable, but it's memorable enough. It's memorable enough where I'm like, I'll remember kinda that. It's no, they're eating her, and now they're gonna eat me. Oh my god, it's not that memorable, but I remember, like, the plain phrasing. Like, I remember, like, the core lines and why it was funny to me. So I remembered that. But I don't know. This movie's interesting. It doesn't really have karate in it. Like, karate's in it. And yes, karate is part of the story. But it's not something called A Karate Christmas Miracle. You expect there to be more karate, but there is not. It's mainly two kids kind of fake fighting, and then there's a part where he has to break a board. That's a very important scene to the movie, but there's not really much karate in it. It's just kind of a thing. It's just kind of a thing that is there. I will say the mom the actress playing the mom does try. I feel like there's times where she's very undertone, but as the movie go on, I don't know if I got used to her performance, or I think there were moments where she was genuinely trying for the movie. Like, she's not the best, but I feel like she gives an effort. I feel like there's times where she's a little bit too reserved, but um, and that is quite a bit of the movie. But I don't think the actress gave a horrible performance. I think there was some sort of effort there. I don't know if she was purposely trying to be reserved or what was going on, but I don't I don't see laziness in that performance. I don't. I do think that the lady playing the mom was trying, and this movie really is about the mom and the psychic. That's like the main thing, is them kind of bonding and forming a friendship and trying to solve the mystery of what happened to the father, which goes nowhere. That goes absolutely nowhere. That is the main thing. Then you have the kid doing stuff on the side, and then you have the mystery feeder shit with Eric Roberts giving this really, I don't know what the fuck. People, I guess he was drunk. That would make sense. He's just over here giving this weird ass shit, saying weird ass cryptic shit on the movie screen, and then Martin Cove is too, and they're trying to play off that the kid is connected to the girl in the feeder, and somehow the feeder is connected, and he's seeing the visions and what happened to the dad. Is Eric Roberts still alive? His character, does he have the dad? How is Martin Cove involved? Why is he having visions of having phone calls with Martin Cove where they're sending each other cryptic messages? What is happening? Somehow the dad was taken through this event. And my biggest problem with the movie is I feel like there's a great message in here about coping with loss and about how the mother coming closer with the son. And I think we could have taken out the theater shit and the weird mass shooting shit that shouldn't have been there. And I'll give more reasons why that shouldn't have been there. But if we took that out, somehow keep the psychic character, because she is the best part of the movie. I don't know, maybe like change her role a little bit from a psychic, because have her act the same, but have her not be a psychic. Maybe have her be a therapist. Like, this kooky drunk fair. I think that could work. But it should be about the mom learning through the therapist and her losses. And to change some things. But her learning to be closer to her son and learning to support her son's interests, and them coming together and learning to cope with the loss of the father. I think that could be interesting. You know. But the way it is, it's like they're kind of insinuating that the father was missing and that the wife missed out on seeing what the father like had built, and the father wanted to show her his accomplishment. She kind of missed out on it because she was working, and they kind of play on that, but they also play on that the father's been kidnapped by this giant conspiracy, and the daughter of the feeder's involved, and Martin Cove's involved, and the psychic is trying to figure this out, and but she's also teaching law, and there's just these random conversations, like where she's looking for this guy called Jay. He's like, do I look like a jay to you? You know, blue jay's a bird. Do I look blue to you? But it's not set, like, it's a funny conversation, but the way it's delivered is not delivered in a funny way. Like, it could have been delivered way better, but it's still funny. Like, it's still good, but it's not delivered well. Oh, and then there's the part where we stopped the movie, but but we have this part where the law teacher slash psychic, the mom, is like going to find her, and she's teaching a Zoom class to what she calls the people off the island of India that shoot bow and arrows. This is what she says in the film. And that they are lawless people and the government won't let people go near them. And you just see like this blurry footage um, of these people like throwing rocks, and there's like a green cabbage thing. I don't know, and it's so wrong. It's very wrong. It's one of those things you kind of gotta laugh at because you're like, what the fuck? And then she's like, what do you think about Frosty's situation? Because she's teaching the Frosty thing to them, and they're like speaking in this weird foreign language that I don't think is even real, or it might be real, but they're speaking in a foreign language, and then the mom shuts the fucking laptop out, and then she's like, hey, they're a lawless people. They need to learn about the law, and I'm like, God damn it, movie. God damn it, movie. Why did you just fucking do that? Why? Like, it's just one of those things you gotta laugh at, because it's like, what the fuck? Why is this in the... This was unnecessary. This was just, oh my god. But then, when you think that's like the worst, I found out that this movie has so the footage where the kid's having dreams and he's having the conversation with Martin, which I don't think the Martin Cove part might be in the movie, but I don't think it is. But the parts in the theater, especially with the Aurora person and Martin Cove and all that, those were scenes from a different movie that I don't know if the director directed, but those are scenes from a totally different movie called Joker's Wild or Joker's Poltergeist or whatever. And that is a movie that is really playing off of the Colorado theater shooting with the Joker guy that shot up that theater during the Dark Knight. Because the thing is, I didn't know that going. I didn't know, like, I knew about the Joker shooting, but I didn't know about the exact area. I forgot the place. You know, I just kind of knew that someone dressed up like the Joker and shot up a movie theater. Well, the place was Aurora, Colorado. So the character in the movie, Aurora, is a direct connection to the... It's definitely playing off the... And I have not seen this movie, but apparently Martin Cove and Eric Roberts are in it. And I guess it has a supernatural twist, and it plays off the gun shooting, and it tries to be pro-gun, which I'm not against pro-gun, because I'm not anti-gun or pro-gun. Well, I think people should have the right to bear arms, but I do think there are rules that should come with that and shit. It's complicated. It's complicated shit. But you shouldn't take a... I don't know. We need to stop agendizing these mass shootings, and everybody agendized them for one way or another, but like, this is a movie going out of its way to take this real tragedy that happened and make it about how it's pro, and directly calling, not even just having, a clown shoot up a theater. That's close enough, but we're directly naming the place after a character in the movie. It's weird. It is weird. It's just like, what the fuck? That's not cool to push whatever you want. That just sounds really weird, and yeah, it's just like, what the fuck, movie? What the fuck? But yeah, so that exists, and that's somehow tied into this movie. And that's why a lot of the plot lines following that are never answered, they go nowhere, because it's from a different movie. So there's a whole big chunk of the movie where the kid's having these dreams and shit, and there's literally no payoff. There's no payoff at all. All the mystery they build with that, there's no payoff. Like, even with the film, like, there's certain things they build upon to do, and then again, there's no payoff, or there's like emotional beats that don't hit right because of the performances, and it's just like, it's just like, what the fuck. So like, there's the whole thing with the kid is he's having these psychic visions about his father, and he's asking about his father in the shooting in the theater, and he thinks he's connected to a girl. We never find out anything about that because, like I said, it's from a different movie. Is Martin Kove an anti-hero or not? We don't know. He's from a different movie. What does Eric Roberts have to do with the clown shit? We don't know. Different movie. And they even looked at it's like you're suddenly jumping into a horror movie. And the thing is, this tone is weird because it's kind of comedy, kind of thriller, supposed to be kids. They say it's an action thriller. There's not really any action in the movie. I guess it's thriller in a way, but I wouldn't say it's thrilling. I will say this: I do like the bond between the psychic and the mom. I thought that was nice, and it seems like there were parts where they really enjoyed being on screen together. And that was fun. Applesauce is the new Jello. That was a fun line. Like, there's some fun lines about like the dead people and the Blue Jay stuff and stuff like that. There's some fun stuff. And the kid's okay, I guess. I've seen worse. He tries to act like an adult and stuff, but you know, it is what it is. It's weird because this movie's like called Christmas, but it's not really, like, Christmas is there. It's definitely there. But it's not really, I don't know. It could have been more Christmassy, but like, if you're not a big fan of Christmas, I don't think this movie might piss you off for other reasons. Like, this movie might definitely piss you off for other reasons. But I don't think you're going to be like, this movie's too Christmassy, because I don't really think it's that Christmassy. It felt very subdued. I mean, there was some Christmas music, and he's decorating the tree with the fucking, the belts he earns and stuff like that, even though we don't really see him earn these belts. We just see him doing some kung fu stuff. Oh, there's a cool animated sequence. I did like the animated sequence. I thought that was nicely done. The movie itself, it just kind of ends, like I said, no payoff. Just how'd you kind of, in a weird way, how'd you expect it to end, even though not the way you expected it to end, because you expected it to end a little better, but then it ends, very tropey and basic and very abruptly. And then there's another line. There's a line at the end that is, again, not explained because, again, it's connected to the other film. And I don't know how much of this film is the other film. I think mainly the movie theater stuff and maybe the stuff with Martin Kove, but I'm not sure. I don't even know if I want to watch that other film. Because when we're in the dream sequences, they get pretty bad. Like, the film kind of, like I said, I mainly enjoyed just watching the psychic. Like, I don't know if this is something I remember and come back to, because it's not a great movie. It's very, it's not great. It is very low, but I don't know, there is a thing, I might watch this again, because I did find at least the psychic character charming. I like some elements of the story. There's some things I like about this movie. There's some fun dialogue exchanges. Now, it's not so bad it's good, but it's not like totally forgettable, horrible either. It's just kind of middle of the road bad. If you can rate like middle of the road bad, I guess this is what it would be. Like, but not even like forgettable middle of the road, but just kind of memorable in a way, but like, I don't know. It's weird with this film. It's weird. This film is weird. That's how I can perfectly describe this film. It's weird, but I've definitely seen films that I was annoyed by more and didn't like more, and then I've seen films that I found extremely more enjoyable than this, that were kind of bad. But this one For what it is, I'd probably give it like maybe a 3 out of 10 or maybe a 2.5 or whatever. Something like that. Maybe a 3 out of 10 to be a little generous. But then again, this is not a great movie. Do not go in here expecting gold or so bad it's good or whatever. It's just kind of, if you're interested in some funny exchanges and watching a good quirky performance by the psychiatrist, then this is it. Although, like I said, there is a serious moment with the psychiatrist, which is very interesting. There's a very interesting kind of heartfelt moment with the psychiatrist that it kind of blanks on. It just kind of like the performance, sadly, which I think hers was the best performance because she was just happy to be there and she brought a lot of energy into the film that I think the film needed. And yeah, it kind of works. But then again, the emotional sequence didn't work because of her performance. But the movie itself is benefited, I think, from her performance. She's the best part of the movie, is that lady. But yeah, and that is it for I guess a Karate Christmas Miracle. It's a thing. It's a thing that exists, and yeah. Exactly. But yeah, I would say it's probably not worth your time, but if you are curious, it's not the worst thing in the world. It isn't the worst thing. I feel like there was some charm to this movie. Or maybe I'm just mentally ill. It could be that too. Well, I am mentally ill, but maybe this movie just speaks to my mental illness. I don't know. That could be it. That could definitely be it. Yeah. But yeah. But yeah, I hope you guys have a good day. If you do the Christmas thing, I guess Merry Christmas. I guess it is that season. And there you go, Nate. There's your Karate Kid review. Does that mean I don't have to review the other four now? I reviewed something better than the Karate Kid. You should appreciate that. You should appreciate that I reviewed something better. But yeah. And, dude, if you say this movie's better than Karate Kid 3 or 4, then this is. If you watch this movie, motherfucker, and you say this movie's better than Karate Kid 3 or 4, then I don't know. There's something wrong there. There's something wrong there. I don't know. But yeah. I hope you guys have a good day. Stay frosty. This is Trenchy signing off. Beep bop boop.